Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Last week, I shared my thoughts when it comes to choosing the right major, which I'll link below in case you haven't seen it. And today, I want to talk about how you should go about choosing the right school. This video can be geared for anyone who is interested in going to college or grad school, so be sure to like and stick around to the end to get the most out of this video. Unlike what I said about when it comes to choosing the right major, there is a right school, and that's USC. Obviously, this video is not sponsored or endorsed by USC, but if anyone from the USC administration is watching this video and finding the content valuable, I truly appreciate a tuition forgiveness. Please. In all seriousness, how I plan on formatting this video is by breaking down how I chose to go to USC and why I considered it to be the right choice for me. Obviously, everyone's going to have different circumstances and want different things when it comes to their education. So I'll try my best in this video to have as many points as possible to make it applicable to everyone who is watching. But if you do think I missed something or want me to clarify something that I did mention, be sure to leave a comment below to let me know. What I want everyone to understand before getting started is that an education is an investment. And I'd like to make a clear distinction when I say investment, because you're not investing in that school to give some sort of expected outcome, but an education means that you're investing in yourself. Just because you go to Harvard or Yale doesn't mean you'll be more successful than someone who didn't go to college. Success follows those who work hard in chasing their dreams. Remember that. So when it comes to choosing the right school, there are many factors you'd want to consider. Are you interested in going to a school nearby or across the country? How big or how small do you want your total school size and classes to be? Are you thinking about public or private schools? When I was about 18 and deciding where I wanted to go to college, I was excited, but rightfully nervous because this decision is a big step. Like many, my dream was to go to an Ivy League because of its title and recognition. But I realized it doesn't fit entirely with my long-term goals. It's no surprise that getting into an Ivy League is competitive, but to do well is just as competitive. You're competing against the top students from various high schools across the nation and around the world. So to do well or to get that 4.0, you really need to be smart and studious and a hardworking student. If you want to check out the video on why I decided to go into consulting and not medicine, I'll be sure to leave a link down below for you to see that out. I knew that going to a school where I'd be extremely challenged academically and stressed about doing well because of the competitive and somewhat cutthroat environment wasn't exactly what I was looking for as an 18-year-old. I wanted to enjoy my time in college beyond just hitting the books, and East Coast winters weren't really my thing. I'm the type of person who likes my weather like my grades. 90s and up. Another factor that played a role in my decision was wanting to have a small class size, which is more likely at a private or a small public university. I've been at lecture halls where there are more than 200 students, and it's not the same as being in a class with less than 20, even if you're sitting in the front and center. Having smaller class sizes allows you to build relationships with your professors, TAs, and your fellow colleagues. You're able to ask your questions right then and there to your professors during lecture, as opposed to waiting in lines for office hours to meet with your TA, hopefully. Building relationships is helpful because it allows for you to become more than just a name on your professor's roster. I wanted that experience because this is not only how I learned personally, but it also helped me when I wanted to join a research lab or become a TA. Having small classes was an important factor for me, but everyone has a different take, which is totally fine. The next factor I'd like to share varies by the student's major and curriculum, and that's the hands-on application versus theoretical learning behind the coursework. Let me explain this another way using examples of California schools. California State Universities and Cal Polys are known for having hands-on technical experience beyond sitting in the classroom and just taking notes. If you're studying something in the sciences or engineering, you'll have more opportunities to work in a lab environment as opposed to UCs. UCs also have labs and these experiences, don't get me wrong, but they are less in comparison to Cal State's and private schools because with larger class sizes, it's difficult to have the resources, time, and money to equally allocate and distribute amongst thousands of students. Cal States and privates tend to be smaller schools in comparison to UCs. As a biomedical engineering student, I'd say most of my classes had a lab component, which is extremely helpful when it came to my learning. being able to apply what those PowerPoints or lectures were saying was important for me, and I had that while studying at USC. That's why USC's dental school, for example, is ranked highly across other dental schools in the nation, because they provide their students the facilities and opportunities to work in a dental environment firsthand as a freshman, as opposed to just reading textbooks about teeth all day long. Another factor when it comes to choosing the right school, which might also be the biggest reason, is the network and job prospects. Many of us go to school to hopefully get a job one day. So what's the point in going to an Ivy, graduating, and being unemployed? When people think about USC, for example, they think about the alumni network. Trojans hiring Trojans is really popular and is a common way to get interviews for internships and full-time opportunities. If you're looking to just do well in your classes, you can do that anywhere. But if you're looking for schools that help with the recruitment process or are known for their networking, be sure to do your research to find out which schools can help you with this the most depending on your major. Because remember, you've got to network to get work. Also, be sure to share and subscribe for my networking series coming soon on this channel. The final factor when it comes to choosing the right school is the social setting. Let's be real. We go to school to study, to do well, to get a job, but to also have a little bit of fun. There are many schools across the nation known for being college towns or being in a college environment. During the week, you might be in the library cramming for midterms or finishing a project, but what about a football game on Saturday or trying out a new restaurant in town? When you're deciding between different schools, try to find a place where you can strike that balance. Having balance is key to living life because we could all use a little party. So these were the main factors that should go into choosing the right school. What I'd like to point out, however, is how a school's price or prestige weren't one of the factors when coming to this ultimate decision. Regardless of your financial situation, if you truly believe the outcome of going to that school outweighs the outcome of not going, then I'd recommend you do 3 things. I'd recommend connecting with people at that school to expand your network and see if you could see yourself in their shoes. This can be big if you're thinking about going to school across the country or even across the world. If you're able to visit during a time when classes are in session, it'll give you a better perspective of the campus and student life, which will give you an ideal understanding of what it feels like to get an education there for the next couple of years. I'd also recommend talking to your parents, financial lenders, or whomever is funding your education for the next couple of years if you are taking out student loans. You never want to put others in financial distress for your actions, so it's always best to communicate what you want or what you need. But if the barrier between you and your dream school is the money, see if you qualify for financial aid. If not, then apply for scholarships. It can be a hit or miss process, but if you're truly wanting to go to that school, you won't let money be an issue. Prior to transferring, I spent over 6 months applying and getting acceptances and rejections to various scholarship foundations, and in the end, I was able to go to USC for free for my first year. But also, if financially going to that school is a burden out of high school, then consider transferring out from a community college. As I mentioned in my other video about choosing the right major, community colleges allow you to take the same courses for a fraction of the cost. And after 2 years of doing well on your coursework, you could apply and go to your dream school for only half the cost because you're only spending half the time there instead. The third thing I'd recommend you do is reflect. Truly think about why you want to go to that school. What makes it special, and what are the outcomes after graduating? With that being said, let me know if you enjoyed this video by liking and commenting what you found most helpful. Also, if you'd like to talk more about your college or grad school endeavors, visit my website ryanrafi.com to schedule a one-on-one appointment. Thanks, until next time.